Okay, so we'll come over here and copy the keyframe on the 24th frame. We'll copy the keyframe for this particular bone. Just copy its keyframe, copy it. Then right here on the 24th frame as well, we're going to paste the keyframe right here, paste it right here, and then we'll remove the negative sign. Right, guys, I hope this isn't getting too complicated. Right, so for this particular guy here, we also paste it here, and then we'll remove the negative sign. Alright, so we've done the body rotation for the other side. For this back of the cloth, I think we can flip it since it's symmetrical. So I'll just flip it here. Then copy the keyframes from here. Copy. Then come back here and paste them. Paste. Okay guys, so let's look at the back of the cloth. I'll reset the crop for this. I'm going to reset the crop so that we can see the back. Alright, so let's move it out. See what the back looks like. The back of the cloth. So let's go back here. Come to the girl. At the back, we'll just push these parts of the cloth, push them down. Okay, I think from the onset, this our cloth is too short, so just push it down. From the onset, this is too short. Okay, so on this frame, I'm going to push this down, down, down. Okay, so the back cloth, I'm just going to squash it in. Maybe it's somewhere here. Let's see what that looks like. So from here we have, okay, that's perfect. So let's copy all these keyframes. Then for the other side, we'll paste it here. Right, for the body, copy the keyframes from here and transfer it to the other side. Paste. For the body, we'll copy the keyframes from here. All the keyframes from here, copy it. For the other body tone, we'll paste it here. Okay, so we have everything perfect except that we need to move this in. Okay guys, so we have the perfect body tone we've always wanted. So okay, I had a crash file, so I'll just still call this my glove. So yes. Okay, so let's test and see that everything is working fine. And let me turn on the back here. Okay, so I'll rotate the head completely, then rotate the body completely. See what we have. Okay, that's it guys, we've got everything ready. Next thing you want to work on will be on the foot, on the legs turn. So let's work on that quickly. So we'll return back to this bone, and then we'll add a pin bone, and then on this pin bone, oops, shouldn't do that. On frame 0 we'll add the pin, then we'll add this, call this our leg turn. Right, so of course quickly we'll make a smart bone dial. Make a smart bone dial, 180 degrees on both sides, and then 96 frames. As usual, my bone will face another direction, so I'll return it back to 270. And then for the first turn, it's going to be in this direction, and for the second turn, it's going to be in this direction. So let's start with the first turn. For the first turn in this direction, let's turn off the body, the torso, so that we can see the legs. You can see just the legs. Alright, so this bone, like we did earlier, remember, I think the bone is the position is aligned with the axis, the body axis. So I'll just change the position for this. So I'll remove the negative sign that it's got. Oops, not now. On the x-axis, I'll remove the negative sign. So you see it's exactly at the same position as this. And then for this, on the x-axis, I would add a negative sign. So you see what we have, guys, a body, leg rotation. Okay, so on this frame, let's get this close. So I'll just crop just this and move it closer. Right, so back here for the first leg turn on the 48th frame. Oops, we have this moving in keyframe, don't want that. Back here on the 48th frame, we'll just work on these legs. So this, yes, I think I'll just have to turn off all the bones. No, I shouldn't. Let's position the bones, make sure the bones are where we need them. So I want the bones to be on the same point, and then here we'll reset the angle for each, reset angle for each. So on the 48th frame, right now we can just turn off these bones. We don't want to see them. We just want to work on the shapes, the legs. So I'll turn off one of the legs. I'll have just this. Okay, so this on frame 0, I want to add a point somewhere here. Add a point. I'll do that for the other leg as well. The other leg, add a point here, something that we can deform. So for the leg turn on this point, let me move this in, move this. Okay, so we just have this turning. Take this in a little. Okay, so this point, we're also going to position it somehow like this. Okay, so for the other leg, I also push it in so that it looks like the other parts. Right, so at this point, I'm going to reset everything. I'm going to reset this, select everything for here, and I'm going to reset this as well. Okay, so at this point, I want the legs to be looking like it was in the other time. So I'll push this in, push this in, push this in. These parts, I'm going to push it. I'm not going to do anything to these joints because that's be like my point of action. I'll do the same for this. I'm going to pull this out, push this in. Right, so that's the girls, that's the guys. We have this leg turn and this leg turn in this position. Okay, so let's work on the other side of the leg turn. We're not going to do anything to this foot because let's work on the other side as well. For the other side, I'm going to show all my bones. Then as usual, this I'm going to remove the negative sign. so that it's exactly at this point. All right, and then for the other one, at this point, I'm going to add a negative sign. Okay, so you see what we have. We just have the leg rotating. Okay, so let's hide the bones as before, and then we would let's position the bones first of all. Position should be exactly at the same point. So here we'll reset the angle for both. Reset it. Okay, I think at this point we don't have to reset. We have to push this in. So we can shine the bone, so we can see just, so that we are seeing just the parts of the leg. So push this out, push this in. Okay, and then we'll position this. Then at this point we have this for this. So right here, let's position this. Alright guys, so we've got our leg torn. Everything is perfect. Okay, so let's examine it, ensure everything is working fine. So we have leg turn in this direction, this direction, this direction, and this direction. So let's turn back on the cloth, back cloth, the back hair, and the torso. Okay, so we have our legs rotating perfectly. Right, so the only thing we have to work on right now is on this, our leg rotation, bone, show all bones. So this leg is supposed to be rotating a little bit in this direction, facing a little bit in this direction. I think we have to view the back. Okay, so this is the back. So let's look at what the back looks like. Okay, I think everything is fine except that the size of the leg is too much, so let's just finish up with that. So we'll just reduce the size of this. Reduce the size of this. Do it for the other leg turn as well. Just reduce the size. Alright, perfect. Perfect, guys. Okay, so guys, let's work on the foot. So work on the foot thumb this time. So let's to this bone. Okay, to this bone we're going to add a pin bone, and then on this pin bone we'll add a small bone, and then we'll call this our so this is our left foot, right? Left foot. Let's confirm. Okay, so this is our left foot, so we'll call this our L foot turn. Simple as that. Also to this bone we'll add a pin bone, then add a small bone, then we'll call this add a pin bone, then add a small bone, then we'll call this our right foot turn. Right, so for our right foot, let's start with this. Make a smart bone dial, turn back to 270, then we'll turn it this side. For the other side, turn it this side. Okay, so let's work on this. So for this, on the 48th frame, as usual, we'll turn this our foot. So where is our foot? It's here. I think we might have to add a few more keyframes, a few more points. So let's add one more point here. Okay, good. Let's return back here. The first turn for the right foot, we'll select this mask, then we're going to push it out, push it out, push it out. Just make it look like this. Okay, so we'll just push. Then all these points, we're going to scale them in, push them in. Right, just something simple. Okay, so the mask, the other parts. Alright, so at this point we're going to, let me see, reset. We're not going to be resetting, we're going to be pushing it in the other direction. Then this, we're going to reset it so it covers the leg. Okay, right, so for the mask we're going to be doing something, guys. Let's reset this at this point because we don't want it moving just yet. Let's still move it a little further. Right, so we don't want it moving just yet. Right, so we just reset it up to this point before we had it moving because we want it to maintain the shape of the legs. Okay, so let's work on the rotation for the second right foot rotation, for the rotation on the second or the other side. All right, so what we do is come to the 48th frame, and then we're going to push this out a little so that it looks like it's a foot. Let's check what the other side was looking at like. Okay, so let's maintain the same thing for this other side. So we're going to push this, have this somewhere here. Okay, so we have this. Then we'll continue to the 48th, to the 96th frame. On the 96th frame, we'll have the foot facing backwards. So we'll push this in. Okay, so we have this. Okay guys, so we've got it. So just like we did the other time, we are going to keep the part of the foot. We're going to keep this part in its place, right? We don't want it to rotate just yet. Okay, that's fine. And then we'll work on the back, on the shoe itself, the color of the shoe. Okay guys, so we've done it for this foot. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on the let's work on the foot rotation for the left foot. Okay, so let's make smart bond dial. Leave this at 180 degrees by 180. Then we'll have this at 96 frames. Okay, as usual, my bone is facing another direction, so I'll correct it. Right, so for the first, we'll rotate it this way. For the second, we'll rotate it the other way. Okay. Alright, so let's start with this foot. Guys, you know what I would have done? I would have made a duplicate of this. I would have made a duplicate of this and then transfer the action to the other side. But I don't want it to be so complicated for us right now, so I think we'll just have to do everything ourselves. So I'll drag this out as usual and push this out a little. I need to add a point here, so I'll just click add, then we'll return back here. Okay, oops, back to frame 0, add a point here, return back to our animation, push, right guys, just as before, we're going to reset this point. Alright, so because we don't want it to move just yet. Okay, so let's finally work on the other side. This point, reset. Okay, let's move this out. Okay guys, we've done it. Let's check out what our foot animation looks like.